This is All Hitches, the Nova Football Podcast.
Yo, tune in, lock in, it's the All Hitches Show. Dash and Dan on the mic, let the Nova tales flow. From the booth to the field, we hitch up the truth. All Hitches Podcast, drop the beat, here's the proof. Dash and Dan in the cut, bringing heat to the game.
This episode is brought to you by Fairfax Football Academy, the best QB training and development in Northern Virginia. Follow on Instagram at Fairfax Football Academy. Tell them Dash and Dan sent you. This show is sponsored by Natural Red Catering. Traditional caterer located in Springfield that deliver to all of Northern Virginia. They do slow smoked barbecue, lots of other cuisine. Mesa loves the brisket. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. All right, they do high school banquets, homecoming, prom, pregame, postgame, you name it, all seasons. They do it. And as a little bonus, and you're going to find out how good it is. Some of the players are going to find out how good it is later on. They will be providing smoked turkey leg at the playoff game pre-Thanksgiving. So these are the guys to go to for any catering, Natural Red Catering.
All right, welcome back to All Hitches, Nova's #1 football podcast. Coach Mesa, happy Sunday, buddy.
Happy Sunday to you. How's your weekend going so far?
Weekend's going well. Went to, and this is where we'll start it here, as a Nova podcast of sorts. We'll talk about my wife's 30-year high school reunion, W&L. You know, I'm a W&L. I'm an Arlington guy at heart. And it was pretty good showing. About, I don't know, 30, 40 people there.
Let me ask you, because I come from Southern California, and there is a dividing line between LA and Orange County. You're an LA County guy, you're an Orange County guy, right? You cheer for the Dodgers, you cheer for the Angels. Right. You cheer for the Ducks, you cheer for the Kings. Like there is a dividing line. Is there anything like between that, like between like Arlington and Fairfax? Or Fairfax and Prince William.
Yeah.
Is there like, I'm a this guy, I'm a that guy?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll say it mainly with my experience. Arlington, Fairfax.
Okay.
I think, and I think the Arlingtonians, who follow the show probably agree. As someone who's not an Arlingtonian, but, know people who are, they make sure to mention they're Arlington. They're Arlington. They live in Arlington. People in Arlington love Arlington. I was talking to a few people last night who graduated from there and stayed there and lived there.
Yeah.
And so it is kind of has its own little quaint, little thing there. The way the football field, the high schools are kind of tucked in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So and it is a little more. It's a true suburbs too.
Okay.
You talk about suburbs, what suburbs are to a city.
Yeah.
I know with sprawl and things move out, but even Fairfax, I know now it's the suburbs of DC, obviously. But Arlington is the true suburbs to Washington, D.C.
And was it the original suburb because of its not locality? What's the closeness to where D.C. is, right? I'd imagine most people who worked out of D.C. that's where they lived, because there's probably a time you did not want to live in D.C.
And also you do have the young people like living in D.C., right?
Yeah.
But when you want a lot of the people when they want to start families, they want to be near the city.
Yeah.
And for work or whatever, they just hop over and move to Arlington, and that's where they want to start their families and that kind of thing. But yeah, the people from Arlington, they love their Arlington. I think Alexandria is the same way. Alexandria, they love their Alexandria city.
And there are back roads into DC, right? Because I know when my wife was working in McLean, there was times where it would take her to get home, would take her back through back roads, and you're like, oh, you're almost right in DC, not having to go through major thoroughfares to get to DC. Like you can go around. There are certain streets you can kind of go around that puts you eventually right on the river.
You still got to cross over, but
yeah, cross over. But I mean, you can cut through like you don't have to just get on main roads to get over there. Like you can kind of go through the back roads that way.
Right. And I don't know it that well. My wife knows all those tricks of the trade living in Arlington. But what I got to do last night was talk about, some of my favorite Arlington eats.
Yeah.
So I'm, no one recognized it from the pod, which means there was no one there who obviously had kids who played football.
I told you that's my one goal, for us to get recognized out in the wild. That's not a high school football game.
Well, there was and shout out to my favorite chicken shawarma, Lebanese Taverna. They did have someone from the Lebanese Taverna family who graduated in the 95 W&L class. So her and I talked a little bit about that, and her nephew, who plays at Yorktown. So we got to talk a little bit about that. But yeah, outside of that, not a lot of football talk, unfortunately. And that's my wheelhouse, whether it's pro, college, or high school. And there wasn't a lot of that.
Your 30th is coming up next year, right? You're
Yes.
class 96.
It's interesting to see how many people go to these things now, because this is one of the topics from last night. It's a decent showing, but because of in the day and age of social media
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say
that kind of stuff. I mean, if you want, first of all, most people probably already talk to, or see what they're up to on social media. People that they want to see or hear from.
yeah,
Do you want to go to these events and
yeah,
you already know? Oh, hey, how's it going? I already know you have 3 kids because I saw them on Facebook yesterday.
yeah.
Like,
My 30th hit, they had something, but I looked at it and like there was not very many people there.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
it was
This is
pretty
the last
small.
hurrah. I think 30 until 50. I remember my class had a 10.
Yeah,
I went to the 10. 30's coming up. Honestly, I think 50 is the next the next big one.
big one.
You might as
Yeah.
well go to 30 and then call it a day, then go to 50. And, God willing, we're all around for the 50.
Yeah. Hopefully, right.
But yeah, fun event. And there were some big events all around
Huge event.
this weekend.
Yeah, I keep on saying it. Like some teams are getting ready to they're getting their check-in list ready, right? They're like, all right, let's start getting our equipment check-in list. The other teams are like, we're gonna be playing for a little bit while longer.
And there were players out there that said, I'm going to make sure we're going to play longer. Get on my back, guys. I'll take you to the promised land. Let's get into it now with Players of the Week.
Yes.
And I mean, what a night it was. Maybe, and I say this every week, but some of our best, and I mean it. It's like every week finds a way to outdo the other week.
Right. Well, because now, you have the teams who are fighting for a playoff spot, and so you're starting to see some players really kind of step up their game because they're trying to, like you said, they're trying to lead their teams
Right.
to not go home, right? They don't want to go to the they don't want to get the equipment check-in yet.
That's right.
want to keep on playing.
That's right. They don't want to hand in helmets and shoulder pads yet. Not yet. So, as always, Players of the Week brought to you by Team DDA. They've led the Northern Virginia real estate market for over 36 years. They build relationships. They deliver results. Contact them today at teamdda.com. Tell them, as always, Dash and Dan sent you. All right, buddy. Well, let's get into this Players of the Week group that just crushed it this week. And we got some first-time winners, too. We got some repeats and some first-timers, a little bit of both. Starting in National. Huge showdown. Hayfield and Falls Church. Hayfield with the win. Tyree Robinson.
Yeah, gigantic win for them. Ty Robinson was 18 carries for 160, I believe.
Yeah,
Uh,
160.
two touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
3 touchdowns.
Three touchdowns. Sorry,
Partially.
I did not. 3 touchdowns. Is that Al Bundy? Or that's Al Bundy, isn't it?
4. 4 is now.
Or one short of the Al Bundy. But a lot of people had written off Hayfield as that, right? Everybody had the Falls Church, Mount Vernon game circled for next week, and you know what they said? They said, "Not so fast, my friend." We are still a relevant team in this district. And now with the win over Falls Church, if Falls Church can beat Mount Vernon, you're gonna have a 3-way tie for that first place spot. But a huge win against a really tough Falls Church team. I think they've kind of proven it all year, right?
Yes,
they
really have.
Yeah, Coach Coogan's kind of ready to go, but Hayfield's still like, no, man, we're still a top dog around here. Don't take us too lightly. And so now, and in reality, they were about a few minutes away from being Mount Vernon and essentially wrapping up a national district title. But yeah, huge game for Mr. Robinson over there against again a really quality opponent.
Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
Yes. So beating Falls Church in a huge game, and we'll talk about this game later. Obviously, that was a chance for Falls Church to make a statement.
Yeah.
Didn't really work. But Hayfield made the statement.
Yes.
They're not going anywhere yet.
Yeah.
So, and we'll talk about that as well as far as their playoff.
Yeah. I guess we'll get into it when
yeah. So Tyree Robinson, congratulations, young man. All right, we move to Patriot Conference. We had a little tie because there were so many good performances. Repeat winner, Scotty Lewis. You talk about Rich Gannon. 5 touchdown passes. what was he? Like 15 for 18 or something crazy like
Yeah,
that.
some ridiculous.
It's like he was like it was a Phil Simms All Pro day from Phil Simms.
Yeah. With the giant win, with a big performance over a Fairfax team that had got breathed new life, right? They got breathed new life. They now are eligible for the playoffs. But Sky Lewis's coming out party showing, nope, we have something to say, and you might get the playoffs, but you're not winning a district title this year.
Sky Lewis made it look easy in that game. And shout out to that West Springfield offensive line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What did we watch in that game?
He wasn't the only one with a big game. Wickham had a huge game as well.
Wickham had a big game and some of the receivers.
Yeah.
But he had time in the pocket. I mean, early in the game, you and I were like, he could have made a sandwich.
Yeah, I remember watching that. Now that you bring it up, where he was dropped back and there was nobody around him. Yeah.
So next time, young Sky Lewis, you head over to Lido's. Get a pie or two for the O line.
Yeah, you should.
Right. Get a pie or two for the O line.
Get the little double meat. Get the
That's
meat
right.
lovers right there.
Yeah, a little extra protein.
Yeah.
All right. Second, we had a little tie in Patriot. We had South County with a huge win.
Giant win.
And you had some guys that you could have picked. We ended up going with Thomas Powell, 8 catches, over 130 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Huge day.
Yeah. So most teams are going to double Travion Campbell. They're gonna bracket him. They're gonna find some way to do it. So someone has to step up. And he had a huge game.
Huge.
Yeah. He had a huge game with 144, right? 144.
Wow.
2 touchdowns. Made giant plays and helped lead that South County team over a Braddock team.
Yeah, South County's so explosive.
Yeah,
so explosive, so fast. We'll talk.
Yeah, we kept on missing plays because they do the replay, and by the time they got back from replay, the plays were already done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll break that one down later as well. So congratulations to Scotty Lewis and Thomas Powell. All right, Liberty, our guy, well, I should say he kind of had signs of it early. Came to see us at a Woodson game this week, took a picture with us, young Brady Owens from Yorktown, and he goes on and has a huge day, 5 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't want to say that we had anything to do with it, but you never know, right? I mean, he came over to say hello to us, and sure enough, he got himself a big game, and a game they had to have.
They had against a tough Herndon team.
Against a tough Herndon team, which is going to set up, and we'll talk about it a little bit today, and then on the next show we're going to talk about it a lot. And I know that he definitely wanted to contribute more to his team. He was looking to try to help his team out more. He feel he could help him out some more than opportunities he got. But then this week got a ton of opportunities and took advantage of them. And he looked great. He looked great against a really good defensive Herndon team.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the kind of guy just let him go, right?
Yeah.
Let Brady Owens go.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Congratulations to Brady Owens. All right. Concord. We had a tie in the Concord. We had 2. First one, this will be the first game we talk about today later on. Will Shields, 4 touchdowns. I can't even tell you 4 passing touchdowns. I can't even tell you how many yards. I think 70 some odd yards he ran for.
Yeah, 73 yards
with the game on the line. Will Shields, huge game.
Yeah, he is making a statement to be the all-state 6A quarterback right now. I mean, he's making a statement to be all Met. He is. I mean, he's definitely shown his maturity and starting for 3 years and why you invest in a guy like that for 3 years.
Yeah,
I mean, he is dynamic. I mean, I don't know how he doesn't end up being all region. I don't know how he doesn't end up being the conversation for all state, right?
Yeah, he's the guy, man. Will Shields crushed it. And then in another big game, in a game that they needed to stay alive for the playoffs, Oakton's PJ Schwartz, 5 catches, 100 yards, not 1, not 2, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think sometimes he gets overlooked because of Jones and Enriquez.
Yeah.
Get a lot of the shine. But it seems like we always hear his name a lot.
Yes, we do.
We always hear his name a ton. And I know sometimes we know they're 3, 4, and 5. But I think we know now Jones is 5.
Yeah.
We're all like, which one is 3? But now we know. Now when we're
Right.
watching here, we know who 3 is. And Chantilly now knows who.
Yeah, Chantilly definitely. And another great ending.
Yeah, with the great ending. But huge performance in a must-win game for them.
Yes. So we'll break that one down in a little bit. So congrats to Will Shields and PJ Schwartz. All right, we go out west, young man. We go to Cardinal. And big game. Warren Freeman, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns.
On 7 carries. The guy averaged 12 yards
For
a touch.
Garfield.
Yeah, for Garfield, 12 yards a touch. Um, you know, they have such dynamic playmakers. And again, someone who's kind of overshadowed, right? Between Richards and Troy Hamlin, a lot of those guys get overshadowed, but with a huge performance against Hilton.
And he's only a sophomore or junior, right?
Yeah, only junior.
So he'll be back next year. So because they're so deep at running back right now, but a guy like that, that could be his backfield next year.
Yeah.
All right, congrats to Warren Freeman. And then finally, Cedar Run. We looked at this one a little bit, a defensive player.
Yeah.
18 tackles in one game. Come on, you're a former DC. You got to love a guy like Aiden Pajonas from Patriot. 18 tackles.
18 tackles. I mean that's a huge game. I mean that means that guy was active all over the place, and a good independent team, right? I mean,
yes,
he'll make those kind of tackles over and over again. I mean, he's shedding blocks. But yeah, congrats to that kid.
I mean, if you're playing in an IDP fantasy league, right, where you get points for tackles.
Yeah,
your defensive player just gave you an 18.
Yeah,
right. That's a good day. All right, so congrats to all of our players of the week. Keep on, putting in the work, guys. Outstanding. All right, we go to highlight of the week, and it's going to be a continuing topic here for the next couple of minutes when we talk about that huge Centerville Westfield game on Friday night. So, highlight of the week, as always, brought to you by Dominion Yachts, your first mate for local boat sales. Call for a free estimate or to buy and sell a boat. We're going sailing, and today, our captain on our ship, Nick Solomon, wide receiver, Centerville. Set it up for us, Mason.
Yeah, so we got this from NMST, and let me shout out real quick NMST as well. They came out to cover the girls' flag game and did some great pictures out there. Appreciate them a ton. And this was from their broadcast right here.
They did a good job on the broadcast.
Oh, they did an excellent job on the broadcast. So if you haven't got a chance to check that out, absolutely go check that out. You can put it on a third screen, right? Between your NFHS feed, us, and the NMST game.
Yeah.
You can look like a sports bar in your thing.
That's true. High school.
But this right here, and so I remember talking about this game, and you were there, and you were like, "Oh, they're in field goal range." And I was like, "Unless they want to score a touchdown." And remember, you were like, "Why would you score a touchdown?" I think it's because the reason I thought about it in my head is because I'm like, look, I would rather have Will Shields throwing the football to somebody than have to depend on my kicker. I'm not saying they have a bad kicker, but I think put the ball in your best player's hands and let him try to go out there and win the game. And so here is the play. I believe this was with about, I want to say like 8 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah.
Back to pass. Lets it go. Watch this catch.
Boom.
Oh, toe attached, down, touchdown.
Wow.
Sophomore too.
Nick Solomon.
Sophomore right there. Fantastic play to essentially, for all intents and purposes, that was the play that's going to win them the Concord, barring some kind of hiccup they have along the way. But
wow.
they beat both Madison and Westfield.
Nick Solomon, wide receiver. Congrats to you, player. Highlight of the week. Congrats to Centerville and NSMT. Good work. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Man, well, let's just continue this theme. Let's continue this Centerville theme here with we'll get right into our game recaps and highlights. And we're gonna start with and we said it, and we deserve our credit here, buddy. We said it, you said it first. You said WrestleMania 3, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, immovable object, irresistible force, Pontiac Silverdome, 93,000 plus. It was a little shy of that number, but they still had a ton of people at packed in at Westfield, and Centerville Westfield for all the marbles.
Yeah. So these are brought to you by NFHS. The game recap right here, Centerville versus Westfield. Takes us to the first quarter, about 9:27 left. Just explosive offense. He just throws dimes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it's not like Westfield is a slow team.
Right.
but they just got guys running all the place. I mean, you have to cover the whole field when you play them, right? I mean, it's just so. Now here's a big play on a 4th and 9. On a 4th and 9, decided not to kick, and this is roughly where they I think wants to do a touchdown pass right here from, right?
Right.
I mean, look at that over the outstretched arm right there. Huge play. I believe this is going to sets up a Centerville touchdown. Now we have Westfield driving again in the second quarter, about 11:59, right at the start of the second quarter, right here. I mean, look at this run. I mean, Westfield kind of imposing their will right here. Goes and ties up the game there in the second quarter.
And by the way, look at the audience. It's standing room only, buddy.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of people there today. Ties the game up 7-7 in the second quarter. We go now again in the second quarter, about 3:15 left. Will Shields doing what Will Shields has been doing to everybody all year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for the first season hiccup again in the year, they're undefeated. And what a turnaround, right, from Westfield, from non-playoff participant to 7-1, possibly.
Centerville, yeah, from a year ago to now.
Yeah. Centerville up to 14-12 right here. A little wheel route touchdown.
Yeah, and gave him his props. The commander Ryan Carlson played well.
Yeah, it definitely was a great duel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at all these explosive plays from Centerville. I mean,
jeez.
look at there's just guys running open all over the place.
Like he drops that between 3 defenders, Mason.
Yeah. Well, you had said, I mean, we again, I don't know how many more flowers we can give him, but I don't know. Quarterback sneak right here from Westfield. Westfield then gets a touchdown with in the fourth quarter. Up by 5. The 2-point conversion was no good on that. They went for 2 to try to get up by 7. But again, explosive plays are 20+ yards. I mean, for them, explosive plays are like 40+ yards for them.
Yeah, I mean those receivers. Look at that.
Look at that pass right there. Wow. And same part of the end zone, kind of coming back to him, right? Now here's the play right here. Essentially for the district title, right?
Wow.
There. Again, 9 seconds left. Throws it right there. I mean,
the plays went bonkers.
Yeah.
Carl Frederick, prep red zone, he was there.
Yeah.
And he said the place was just, he said it was a college atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine what it would be. And these are not lightweights, right? It wasn't like these are rookie coaching staffs.
Oh, no.
These are not fly-by-night teams. I mean, just a huge game between the two.
Huge game.
So they're gonna have to go back in the Westfield's gonna have to go back and kind of draw some things up. Because they've dropped some close games, right? Dropped a close game to Braddock, a close game to WNL, and now a close game to Centerville. Very similar to Madison, right? Where they drop these close games. Like, oh, I don't know. I mean, in reality, they are a couple breaks away from being undefeated. But the story is Centerville, right? After that first game against Forest Park, I think a lot of people were like, they can score. They really can't stop anybody. But that Centerville defense played well all night. They played well all night. And then it just became back and forth, and eventually they got to the point where the Centerville offense kind of had to ramp things up, in which they did. Got them down the field and won the game.
They're on an 8-game win streak.
Right.
They've only lost 1 game.
Yeah.
The first game of the season.
Yeah.
And they've won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cruising right now. And we'll get into top 10 power rankings later and all that kind of stuff. But man, it's a really good set. The defense is playing better now.
Yeah.
O-line, give them credit. They're protecting Shields. I called him Dan Marino all season. He keeps running like that. He's starting to look like, and I said it 2 weeks ago, little Jim Kelly.
Okay.
Remember Jim Kelly when that K-gun offense?
Yeah.
He could throw all day. He had Andre Reed and James Lofton and Metzelaars and Thurman Thomas. Right, they got all the weapons over there at Centerville. But every once in a while, Jim Kelly would, the old linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Mentality of a linebacker. Jim Kelly would just tuck it and go. Yeah. And I'm starting to see that from Will Shields.
Yeah. No, it was a huge win, and yeah, they kind of got through their gauntlet, right? I'm not discounting the other two teams are going to play with it, but obviously the top 2 dogs for the last few years are those 2 teams in particular, and they've took them on and went blow for blow with them, and now they are inches away, right? They're right there. In fact, if they win this week, I think the worst they can finish is a tie for
right.
Actually, no, they're a game up. So if they
Mm.
win this week, they are the 1 seed.
Well, I think just the legs. Keep an eye. That's all. If you're a D coordinator, that's a whole new problem.
Right.
Right, you got to worry about with Shields. Like
Right.
you had a hard enough time worrying about this guy just throwing dots all over the place.
Yeah.
Now I gotta spy him now.
Right.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right. So congrats, Centerville and Westfield. I mean, they're not going anywhere.
No.
We've said it about Madison. We'll say it about Westfield. Wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
No,
No,
absolutely.
not at all. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And we'll talk about playoff brackets in a little bit. But I think I said on the live show a couple weeks ago that the sweet spot might be the 2 seed. Remember, I said that in that conference. So we'll talk about that later. All right, buddy. Well, no shortage of great games. Next one up, Lake Braddock, South County, in what determined part of that Patriot title.
Yeah, so we had Braddock and West Springfield looking like they're on a collision course for Week 11, but we both said they have to get through their games this week. Now, I think you could argue Braddock had a little bit of a more difficult road with South County and Fairfax. Two teams that have played them historically tough,
Right.
these last few years. And that South County and Braddock game has always been just, I mean, even last year with a down South County, I believe it went down to the fourth quarter from last year. All right, again, another NFHS game recap. South County and Braddock takes us to the first quarter here. Without Peyton Holmes in there, they got to get themselves a tough run. This one right here is second effort, huge second effort to get themselves a touchdown. I mean,
We said it at first. You don't succeed.
Yeah.
Sam Rye and Rye again.
South County with their ultra fast offense. A lot of teams are picking down in the middle of the field, not just against Braddock, but I feel like we're seeing a lot of teams really just throw it right down the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Braddock up 13-7 in the third quarter, it's not third overtime. But here comes South County. 71 yards. Now they do run him down. Big run down right there, but kind of sets up what I believe ends up being a South County score right here. 5 minutes left to go in the third. Kind of a defensive battle though early on, right? Little quarterback keeper.
100%. I don't think anyone thought these two teams would be this low scoring.
No. But the scoring starts picking up here in the second half. Braddock comes back after South County takes a 1-point lead. Here goes Ty Jackson. Little flick of the wrist right there. I mean, he just gets that ball there in a hurry, doesn't he?
Yep.
Touchdown Braddock. Braddock takes a lead right there. Here goes South County with another explosive huge touchdown pass. I mean,
And they're down 8. They're down 8 here.
and there goes our player of the week right there. There goes our player of the week right there with one of his touchdowns of the night. Braddock up now, 22-20.
They failed the conversion.
So I know you and I both thought, if Braddock had their opportunity here to kind of put the game away, right?
They did.
Yeah. Now they get this big run off the edge, and you wonder if that's Peyton Holmes, does he score? Right? Does he end up scoring?
I mean, he has that next level gear.
Yeah.
3 minutes to go. This is what hurts him here.
Right. They
don't make the conversion.
Yeah, which gives South County the ball back. And with the way they run their offense, now there's Travion Campbell right there, right? I mean, just kind of post him up, right? A little basketball move right there. And South County is matriculating down the field here with 26 seconds. I mean, how does that guy get open like that?
I know. Just this offense, man. Well, those are great throws by quarterback.
Yeah. Now here goes the game right here. 3 seconds left. Another big field goals. I feel like in high school have gotten better and better and better.
40-yard kick.
40-yard kick.
And I'm glad you cut it off there. Things got a little bit of testing.
Things got a little bit out of hand at the end.
Don't go somewhere, don't plant your flag and other people. You and I have experienced this as coaches.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't and I'm sure you're excited after a win. I get it. And you watch these guys, you watch the Manziels and guys over the years, or no, it was Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
You see these guys do that. Baker wouldn't do that now. He's matured. I mean, he was young and dumb. I'm sure he'd be the first one to say it. But yeah, don't do that. Emotions are high after a game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too. I mean, because it kind of takes away from your big win, right? Because
Right.
now nobody's talking about that. Everyone's talking about the stuff that happened after the game.
And who will be suspended and that kind of stuff.
Right. And And I know NFHS, the camera kept on running, so you can see everything that
It saw
happened.
everything.
You see
That
everything.
thing, you could analyze that like the Zapruder film.
Yeah. Now, I did say, now we don't know if he was a coach, but we were told, and I told you, it looked like an adult who was helping out with the playing the flag. Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're an adult.
Yeah.
I get it. We all get excited, and I have gotten unsportsmanlike for talking a little bit too much. It gets away from you sometimes, but you got to realize, because the other thing you have to realize is that the kids follow your lead, right? If you're there and you're getting that excited, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I just mean, if you're not wearing a helmet and you're not wearing shoulder pads, there has to be a level of maturity. And I don't want to go on my soapbox too long about that, but that's just where I'm at, man. You can't behave like that. That being said, huge win for South County.
Huge win.
Keeps their district hopes alive, because West Springfield can knock off Lake Braddock. Or I'm sorry, Braddock can knock off West Springfield. You now have a 3-way tie for that district title.
Which that could easily happen. You could have a 3-way tie.
Yeah. Huge playoff implications. More likely now, South County is probably going to jump over Lake Braddock with the win.
It flipped Patriot on its head.
AC now is also tied for first place because they have a win over Braddock. Oh, you know what? Braddock has 2 losses.
Yeah.
That just got him out right now. They now, as far as district standing goes, are in second. The 3-way tie right now is AC, South County, and West Springfield.
Right.
I mean, Braddock could go from looking like they were going to be at home for the whole playoffs to going on the road for the whole playoffs,
being road warriors
all the way through, or maybe only hosting one playoff game.
Right.
I mean, wow. I mean, who would have thought that would have happened, right?
And it's just begun.
Yes.
Because there's some games now coming up. I mean, SoCo's got to play a couple tough opponents. Braddock's got a couple tough games. Braddock's got Fairfax coming up.
Fairfax and West Springfield. I mean,
West Springfield's got some tough games. And so we're going to be having this conversation about, who is where in that conference for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think you and I had kind of resolved ourselves. Think the Patriots a little bit kind of we thought we knew where it was going to go.
Right.
Not anymore. Not anymore. We don't. And think about, and we talked about judging teams off wins and losses. South County is a non-fumble 2-point conversion away from being all alone in first place.
Right. The same South County team that many, had kind of thought the season was done.
Yeah. Fairfax. I mean, well, I guess we'll get to that game, but Fairfax is another one, right? So I guess we'll talk about that when we get to the Fairfax.
I'm old enough to remember the old days. Old days being like last March, when people were like, South County doesn't have a coach yet. That was a late hire.
It was late hire, yeah.
Coach Urquhart hadn't been named yet, and people were like, no one's going to come out and play. South County's done. That program's over. Yeah, not quite. You and I said it.
Yeah.
People
We're still South County.
We're like, do they still have players everywhere in that building? They'll be fine. It'll be fine. I mean, you get sad when your old coach has to go, obviously, but it's a scene from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that life in general?
Yeah. Well, I was told by an old coach, the kids get over it pretty fast.
I mean,
he said, don't get me wrong, they love you, they do, and when they see you when they're 30 and they're 40, they'll still love you.
Right.
He said, but the kids move on pretty quickly. They just kind of they just, regardless of how much they adore you, how much how many tears are dropped when you leave, the protests, the kids eventually just kind of move on.
Winning helps.
Yeah.
Winning helps. It's the scene, like I said, it's the Jerry Maguire scene, everything stops. He's gone. There's a beat. And then phones start ringing again. Everyone goes back to work. That's just that's life.
Yes.
That's life. So congrats to South County. And just like Braddock and just like Westfield we talked about earlier, they're going to be around. They're not going anywhere, and they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to play South County again. I mean, that coaching staff is really good, really a veteran coaching staff.
They're going to go South County or Braddock?
Braddock.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah. But they've got a veteran coaching staff.
Right.
I'm sure they are analyzing exactly what went wrong. They are going to build a solid game plan right now.
Doc Crush,
Coach Doc is Wally Riggerdorf in there right now.
Yes.
Got to analyze what went wrong and then he's going to tear off his tie. And
100%. So yeah, the fun's just begun at Patriot.
yeah, but kudos to South County, and maybe well, someone told us, who was it? We talked to a coach that said South County was the fastest paced offense they'd ever seen their whole life.
Yes.
He was like, the balls just getting set for play, and those kids are already up on the ball and ready to go. So
right, it's a good look.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, another game with playoff implications, huge, out in Liberty, Yorktown, Herndon. And, the Herndon defense against this vaunted Yorktown Brady Owens offense.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Yorktown has struggled against Herndon for the last few years.
They have.
But Yorktown is, after that win at Langley. I know they've struggled in some other out of district games. They definitely are eyeing. They have one game left in the season. So again, brought to you by NFHS. All right, here we go. Early in the on a fourth down right here. Herndon's got a pretty good run game right here.
They do. They're tough. Ground and pound, baby.
Yeah, ground pound. Get that first down right there. Early in the game. Close game early on. But here comes Yorktown. Yorktown with the 5-yard touchdown pass. Little quads over there, right there.
Yeah.
And there he is, right? Bigger than everybody on the field.
All alone over there. There he is. Big Brady Owens.
Big Brady Owens.
And that's Samson Schneider, I think, the quarterback.
Yeah. He's taking everything one day at a time right there.
One day at a time. Our man Schneider.
Takes the lead right here. And Yorktown started pulling away, right? Here we are here. Another touchdown pass in the flat.
Well, the Herndon D has been always plays tough.
Yeah.
But this is rearing its head. The offense had, over the last few weeks, you always start kind of clicking, but it was having a hard time possessing the ball this week.
Yeah. Here's this Yorktown team, right? This is not your dad's Yorktown team anymore. They're not running buck at you right here, right? They're kind of opening things up. That was not a waggle right there.
Not waggle.
And at this point, Yorktown's kind of pulling away, setting up a huge game next week.
Yeah.
Huge game next
Huge
week.
matchup.
Yeah.
Speaking of Arlington.
Yeah. I wonder when last time Yorktown and WNL have played themselves at the end of each other at the end of the season for a district title.
Right. I can't see the scoreboard there. Was that 6, 8, or 0?
0, I believe. 35 nothing at this point. Yorktown still can't run the ball though.
Yes, they can.
Still can.
They had their way with them. They could do whatever they wanted to do this game. Was that a shutout?
I believe Herndon eventually does score. If I'm not.
Yeah, I never saw the final. So
I believe they do score. Yeah, they score right here.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, good for that. You know what? It's important sometimes to get on the scoreboard a little bit.
Yeah, it makes kids feel a little better, right?
Right, sure.
Get in the end zone. A little touchdown run to kind of get themselves on the scoreboard. I believe this is with less than a minute left.
About a minute to go
in the fourth quarter. But this game is setting up. I guess I could try to do the research. Maybe if anybody in Arlington is listening to us, when is the last time that game end of the season is? Now, am I wrong? But don't they usually play on a Saturday?
They've played on Saturday before, yes.
You would think that this would be the day to do it, right?
Are they playing on Thursday or Halloween? Because there's a lot of week games this week that are mainly Thursday.
I think you might be right. You
talk about the Battle of Arlington. Who's going to walk in to Ballston Mall and declare themselves a champion? Who's going to walk in and order that chicken shawarma at Lebanese Taverna and declare themselves champs? Who's going to go to Carpool? Who's going to go to all these places? Who's going to go to Raise the Steaks? Who's going to go to Mario's? Who's going to go to all these places and declare themselves the champion of Arlington?
It is Thursday, a short week. God, I don't know if I'd want a short week for a game of this magnitude, right?
Yeah.
My guess is they were doing walkthroughs on Saturday, right? They had to do walkthroughs on Saturday, right?
You have to.
Doing walkthroughs on Saturday. So the last game at the end when's that? I don't think they play. Do they usually play each other at the end? I don't think so, right? I think it's a rotating schedule for them.
I would guess.
But man, last game of the season, at least for Yorktown, for the district title against those guys from across the road, right?
This is such this is probably one of the best rivalries in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
Yorktown and W&L. There's no love lost.
Little Jets and the Sharks. Are they gonna be?
Yes. You talk about Braddock, South County. You talk about Westfield, Centerville, right? Centerville, Chantilly, Robinson, Braddock. You talk about some of these old school rivalry games. I mean, this one's right up there. You can ask. I was at a W&L reunion, and I heard a couple of times, oh, those damn Yorktown. I could hear that in some of the conversations going on in the room.
Let's W&L. They have played. That's 40 something plus 18. 65 times. 65 times they play each other.
What's the split there?
The average score is Yorktown 22, W&L 12. So
Yorktown had the historical.
Yeah, at one point Yorktown goes. Let me see this. 2010. From 1983 to 2010. So God, how many years is that? 27 years. They go. They beat W&L.
Oh, my wife told me that they used to. I mean,
yeah,
that was always a loss. But Coach Shapiro has turned that around at W&L.
Yorktown's a 3-year losing streak against W&L.
Yeah, that goes all credit.
So
to Coach
these seniors on the varsity level have never beat W&L.
Wow, how the turntables have turned.
So I mean, how big for these seniors, right?
Yes,
You've never beat them at the varsity level. You're playing for your district title. I mean, I'll tell you right now.
And you know how Yorktown is. It's a staff full of Yorktown alums.
If it is not standing room only at that place,
yeah.
I mean, then you guys must not like football. I don't know.
You don't like football. You don't like chicken shawarma. You don't like anything. You need to just leave right now.
That place should be hopping.
Oh, it'll be humming.
Yeah.
And then winner goes to Mario's afterwards. You get a cheesesteak. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
Man. Wow.
Big
well,
game.
That's going to be a fun one. Like we said, there's still some big games coming up this week.
Is that going to be Macho Man Richie? If last week was Andre Hulk Hogan, is this going to be Ricky the Dragon and Macho Man? Right, the match you did not think was going to be the best match at WrestleMania 3, but ends up being one of the best matches of all time.
All time.
Yeah,
and that's with Steamboat with the hurt sternum too, because Macho Man took that bell in the top rope.
Yeah, he's always. You know, the funny thing is, in my memory, I always thought Macho Man won that match. He did not. He did not win.
No. I think Steamboat put him in a little package.
Steamboat
stole the win. He did. Yeah. All right, buddy. We head to another big game where playoff implications. I mean, essentially, win and you're still in. I shouldn't even say you're in, but you're still in, and loser, you're kind of out. Oakton, Chantilly.
Yeah. So let me close up.
I mean, this was one that, and you have, two great quarterbacks. Although we're going to get into this in a second, because I did notice something with some of the quarterback play at Oakton.
Both these teams are in a must-win situation at this point, right? Oakton in particular, because their matchup against.
Now that is not. So we'll start here with Oakton on offense, and a good pass. That's not Jack Martin. He doesn't wear number 1. Maybe.
No, you're right. Look at this. But
Oakton, you and I have always said they breed quarterbacks over there.
They do breed quarterbacks. They are never hurting for quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
Big touchdown pass for the Oakton. Oakton takes a 7.
Our guy Schwartz.
Yeah, right there. If we're showing a punt, you know what it must mean, right? Either it's a block.
Right.
Oh yeah, we talked about this too. I was curious how it wasn't roughing. Now he was really short on their on that punt return, or like where he was at to pick that up right there.
Yeah.
Chantilly takes a 14-7 lead right there with about 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Replay right there. But Oakton comes charging back, right?
They do.
16-yard touchdown run to tie up the game. And I believe this is... Oh, no, the quarterback scramble right here. Kind of gets loose.
And that's a different element, right?
Yeah.
That he brings. Jack Martin, more of a pure pocket passer.
Right. Oakton go ahead and tie the score right here. 14-14. Oakton's got some explosive guys on offense.
They do.
Little trick ratio right here. Oh, we saw this live. That's right.
Yes, we did. A little double pass. Everyone loves a good double pass.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kitchen sink time, right?
Yeah. I mean, Coach Slay, outstanding coach staff for Oakton, definitely had to get out the win, right? I mean, you can't leave anything on the table with
Kitchen
this.
sink.
Yeah. Now, I think you and I talked about this right here. The 2-touchdown lead was huge for Oakton, right?
Oh, enormous.
Yeah, and I believe this is Schwartz again.
Again, with another great pass. I know we don't have the roster, so I don't know who the quarterback is, but kudos to that young man.
Yeah, actually, let me see if I can look that up real quick.
He's number 1 for Oakton, all over the place.
Yeah. Let's see here. But Chantilly's not dead yet, right?
Mantry drives on the field. They get the rushing touchdown. And this is right where I said it was over. And when I say it's over, it's far from over. Because Chantilly ends up coming right back.
Yeah. But Oakton walks out there with the win.
Do we not have the ending?
Oh, I don't have the ending.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is one of the better endings I've seen in a long time. I mean, to set it up for anyone who wasn't watching, Chantilly gets the ball back. Is it frozen on the NFHS thing there?
Yeah, I didn't give you the ending right there.
But yeah, so Chantilly gets the ball back with only a couple minutes to go. They drive down all the way down to what, like the 10-yard line? With no time left. Remember the NFHS, the camera goes away. Yes, they have one play, last play of the game, and so here Mantry makes it what looked like Randall Cunningham, right?
Yeah. Oh, he jumps up in the air. That's right.
He jumps from like the 3-4 yard line, tries to jump into the end zone, gets tackled at like the 1, and I guess they tried to. Then the NFHS camera went to replay, and there was probably about 8 seconds to go. I'm assuming they all ran back on the line to try and run a play. I don't know if they got it off because by the time the replay came back, the game was over.
Yeah.
We don't know if they got the play off. But it was a phenomenal ending, and Chantilly comes just close. And that might be, without looking at it all and having it all in front of me, might be all she wrote for Chantilly. I think there's always a chance with, like, if this team loses and this team loses.
Yeah.
But
now they're just kind of hoping that things break.
They need help. They need help now.
Need help.
It's not solely in their hands the way it is for Oakton. I think if Oakton keeps winning, they're okay.
Jack Martin is listed as number 1.
He is?
Yes. I didn't think he was number 1 either, but
I didn't think he was number 1 either. I guess what are we talking about? I guess I do have a bad memory, so following Jack Martin all year. So never mind. The young guy comes in there was Jack Martin. Everything old is new again, and everything new is old again. So yeah, Jack Martin he looked phenomenal. But that's what Jack Martin does. He's always looked great.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they have another quarterback that good. I'm like, they really do breed quarterbacks, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad you actually corrected that. For some reason, I thought he was 14. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, there's a 1 in the number 14.
There is one, unfortunately.
Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, so I mean, Oakton, but they're the story. I mean, Chantilly, so close, awesome, all that stuff. But Oakton, that was the Oakton. Remember, Oakton should have beat Westfield. They could have and maybe should have, some will argue, beat Westfield last week.
Yeah.
So if Oakton can make the playoffs, which I think is in their destiny.
Well, they're going to need help because right now South Lakes is ahead of them and because of the loss of South Lakes. They have to win out, and South Lakes has to lose 1 more than that.
Well, I don't think South Lakes is impeding them completely on that because now this is going into the game, and I was going to do this at the end of the show, but going into the game.
So I have it right here. Centerville's 1, Westfield's 2, South Lakes is 3, Madison is 4.
So you're going into the game, Madison. It's Madison right now, right? Madison is what's in their way. Now, have they played already?
They played this week. The battle of the Vienna.
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. So that's the game. So what I said was right. They control their own destiny still.
Yeah, I guess they went out. Yeah,
right.
They have to win out. Well, what you'll have is you'll have a 3-way tie for the third and fourth place, because if they went out, South Lakes is still a game ahead with the win over them. Madison has beaten South Lakes. So what you'll have is you'll have a three-way tie for the 3 and 4 seed.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hope that they would need to hope that South Lakes kind of earns, or whoever earns the 3 seed, and they're just fighting for the 4.
Yeah.
And
Now,
if they're fighting for the 4 all by themselves, and all of a sudden they've beaten Chantilly, they've beaten Madison, then they'd be the 4.
now South Lakes has 2 really tough. They have Centerville and Westfield left, so they could end up with a 2 and 3 record. 2 and 3,
Right.
Yeah, 2 and 3. Now, if Oakton wins out, yeah, actually you're right. So now you're dead right. Oakton controls their own destiny. Madison and South Lakes do not.
Right.
Well, South Lakes does too. South Lakes controls their own destiny. Madison does not.
How does Madison not? If Madison beats Oakton, they do too. They both do. That's why this game is a playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madison and Oakton control their own destiny. This is a playoff game this week.
Yes, it is.
Wow, it's gonna be a good one. See, and you and I were talking. You said there were not some great games. There's some great ones coming up, buddy. It's gonna be top heavy. It's gonna be top heavy.
Yeah.
But boy, those ones at the top are gonna be really good.
Yeah.
So so kudos to Oakton, and the big win when they needed it most, behind the big arm of number 1, Jack Martin, who for some reason I thought he did not wear number 1. All right. Moving on. Another big game, which was pretty much almost kind of a playoff game in itself. West Springfield, what I'm calling the greatest show on turf right now, then in Centerville. West Springfield versus Fairfax. That some are calling the 85 Bears defense. Great D-line with Richard Dent, Steve McMichael, Dan Hampton, the whole front. And
Refrigerator Perry. How do you remember
Refrigerator Perry? Well, if you ever watched that documentary, Fridge was okay. It was a lot of hype behind the fridge. Richard Dent, Dan Hampton, and Steve McMichael were the guys.
All right, ready? All right. Another recap, NFHS Network, Fairfax and West Springfield.
This ended up being Tyson Spinks, by the way.
Yes. Here goes one of his 5 touchdown passes, right, just wide open.
I mean, you and I saw this live. We couldn't believe how easy they scored, and it continued all game long. They absolutely dismantled the Fairfax defense. I was shocked.
Now, could you think being told that you were back in the playoffs kind of took the edge off of them a little bit? Where they weren't playing nearly as Fairfax not playing nearly as angry as they were before?
I don't know. I think you're back in. Now you got to get in.
Yeah. But Fairfax. Now I'm not. I'm not sure exactly what the score was right here, but here goes a little AC run right.
Except Baker Mayfield Morris.
Yeah. I mean he's pretty dynamic, that quarterback.
Oh, I like him a lot. He's good.
Yeah. Now I believe the score might have tied it up early, but West Springfield just kept on. I mean, they never took the foot off the gas, right?
Look at Scotty Lewis. I mean, he didn't even get off his mark, Mason. They're not even getting him off his mark.
Yeah. I mean, I think you made the good comp though, right? Right now they are the Centerville of this district, right?
100%.
Yeah. Fairfax has got a pretty good pass game right here. I mean, we saw this one live too.
We did.
Because it was still back and forth at this point, right? I mean,
it was back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, Fairfax kept hanging out. Like they'd be down by 2 scores, down by 1, down by 2, down by 1, and then finally West Springfield said enough is enough.
Yeah. Another one that not touchdown around here.
Look at this.
They've got him bottled up.
They had him.
Yeah.
They call him Booby.
Yeah. Which is very on Fairfax side. Usually Fairfax, if they've got you pinned, they keep you down pretty well. Another touchdown pass.
Look at Scotty Lewis running his mark. He gets hit though. They get hit. Still completes it.
Yeah. Was that Murad? Because that was a big kid.
That was a big. That might have been a big Goose Murad, 77.
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hoss down though.
Yeah, he really is. Another touchdown pass.
Another touchdown pass by Scotty Lewis. What the Parkers have got that offense really going, don't they?
They really do. They're offensive geniuses.
Yeah.
Roll them out all day, boom.
And you know what? A lot of their guys are just running wide open.
Wide open.
And that Fairfax staff is not a rookie staff, right?
No, and their defense has been on point all year.
Yeah.
So a huge win for West Springfield. I think, like I said, and I've been saying this for weeks, and I'm glad I'm not some guy getting on the bandwagon late.
Yeah.
I've said it. I said of Region C, West Springfield and Region D Centerville, they are kind of clones of each other.
Yeah.
Great QB play, great running back play, great receivers, underrated defenses, great coaching staffs. Man, those two teams are tough to stop. In West Springfield, with Wickham, good luck.
Yeah.
And we still have that game highlighted, though. Them versus Lake Braddock in week 11. They both got to get by games this week, but if they can get by games, Lake Braddock at that point, if they both win this week, week 11, West Springfield's playing for sole possession and winning of the conference. Braddock will be playing to get a share of the conference.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and how long has it been since Braddock did not have at least a share of the conference?
The Rojas.
Rojas
won it out. They won outright.
They won it outright. You're sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. Yeah, because they beat him in the regular season and they beat him in the playoffs. They beat him twice. Rojas senior year.
Okay.
Senior Rojas.
Senior year, not junior.
Not junior year. Senior
right.
Rojas.
Okay. Outside of that 1 year, and you can almost kind of mark it because when people talk about that part of the bracket, they always talk about it was the Rojas year, the Rojas Fairfax team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but outside of a dynamic player like that, Braddock has dominated that conference for a while. Where even when South County was winning the state title, I think Braddock was always in the runnings for the
district,
for a piece of the district, and they used to do the pods back then too.
Yeah.
So West Springfield, congratulations. Yeah. That was a statement game. All right, buddy. Well, speaking of statement games, in the National, Hayfield, who's been the standard in National for a long time, versus Falls Church that has said, there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Coach Coogan. And this was a huge game, I think, for Falls Church to kind of stake their claim and say, we are the new gatekeepers of National.
Yeah.
And didn't really go down that way, did it?
No. So we start here in the first quarter right here, 0-0 game. Falls Church definitely came in, and you hope that they weren't looking ahead to the Mount Vernon game, right?
Right.
I mean, there's a chance they were, right? I mean, they are right on the precipice of playing for a district title that next year. But, Hayfield, and here we are, 21-0 already in the second quarter. I mean, and they're stacking the line against that run game.
They are.
But,
they're pretty much saying, look, you want to beat us? We're not letting Elijah Lewis.
Yeah.
And that running game.
That's the other part, right? Elijah Lewis is going to get a ton of attention. I mean, not just now, but more than likely they're going to make the playoffs.
So there's a touchdown here. I got the score wrong on the live show.
Yeah.
And there's a moment here. So look at this bottom. Look at the ticker. So obviously Hayfield's on the right. This is after that touchdown run.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. Look at that.
Elijah Lewis with a touchdown.
He's a dual threat guy.
Yeah, to cut the lead right there. 28-14. It just seemed like every time Falls Church looks like they were crawling back in it, Hayfield would come back and answer, right? So, I mean, they cut it to 28-14. They're looking to possibly get themselves within one score. But Hayfield just kept on pouring it on right here.
There's our guy, Tyree Robinson.
Yeah.
Made it look easy. He's jogging, Mason.
It's a little glitchy.
Oh, okay. The
camera's a little glitchy.
Okay.
He's running in the Matrix right there.
He really was.
Yeah. And Hayfield just starts to put it away right here, right?
Hayfield. Wow.
35-14. With just kind of running right at him, right?
Look at the Hayfield of old.
Yeah. Touchdown, 42-14. At this point, it would have taken a Herculean effort for Falls Church to come back. But to Falls Church credit, they kept on battling.
They did.
They kept on battling.
Elijah Lewis kind of showing us his what he can do in the air.
Yeah. I mean, look at the throw. I mean,
that's a great throw.
Great throw right there, isn't it? Yeah. To try to find their way to get back in this game, but you dig a hole like that. I mean, it's really tough, especially when you're a ground and pound kind of team.
Right.
That's kind of your bread and butter. Now, Elijah Lewis did show he can't throw the tough, but it's difficult to come back. And Hayfield showing that people wrote them off. And for what it's worth, they played a pretty challenging non-district schedule.
Yeah. I'll say this though. As of right now, that might have knocked them out of the playoffs. Falls Church.
Well, you think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Okay.
Now we'll see.
Wait, you have all the secret numbers for the Max plus
I got contacts.
because they're the 4 seed, right?
I mean, I have it right here. Were they 4? They were. No, going into the game, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, they were 6.
Yeah, they were 6.
And Hayfield was 9.
Hayfield was way down there. They were like a 9. So I'm not saying Hayfield's in. What I'm saying is that they may or may not be. They're either 8 because Mount Vernon, everyone went up. They kind of went down. They're either an 8 or they're out, and someone else popped up. Luckily for them and anyone in that bottom part of the bracket over there, there was a lot of losses.
Yeah.
AC
lost.
AC won.
AC won.
But AC was already in above them, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
The only thing below them, out of the playoffs rather, out, that won was Annandale.
Hayfield and Annandale, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, obviously Hayfield
Yeah.
and Annandale. So that's going to be interesting to see how much higher did they get and how much lower did Falls Church go.
And Falls Church has a win over Annandale?
Falls Church beat Annandale, I believe.
Yeah, so maybe they don't drop as much.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see this. But now you're looking at points down at the bottom there. You look now, if you're a team like Annandale, Annandale's got a shot at the playoffs, my friend.
Yeah, the return of the Adams, huh?
And you and I said it. We said it. There's something about them. There was something about that Annandale team.
Yeah.
Something about Mary. All right, buddy, that they don't know. All right, so moving on. In the last game of our recap and highlight reels, we got.
Did we do South Lakes and Madison?
Did we not? We did not do South Lakes and Madison.
Yeah.
So in our second to last game, Colgan, we're gonna go out west.
Oh, we're going to go west.
We've got Colgan, and I'm glad you caught that, buddy. Colgan and Woodbridge. And this was the one. This is the one that everyone was saying, all right, Colgan's going to prove.
One of us picked us as the upset of the week.
Yeah, well, he took a shot. I mean, and Colgan hung in there actually early.
They did hang in there early. But, Woodbridge is so good.
So good.
Yeah. Here we are, I believe in the first quarter. Apparently we're also playing in 1980 right here. This is a VHS camera we're seeing right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we talked about it when Andrew and Brent came on. Colgan was just outclassed against us.
Oh, because they were there. You're right. Our good friends, Andrew and Brent from Dark Fighters and the Levels were there at the game. And they said, yeah, I mean, they were a little disappointing. They were hoping to see Colgan kind of bring it. They brought it early, but Woodbridge is just too much, man.
Yeah, but big play right here by Colgan, right? To get
we
down
love
there.
George Hall. He's a stud.
George Hall is at Colgan. I'm thinking of Troy.
Yeah, George Hall is the real deal.
Yeah. But just too much Woodbridge. I mean, they are another team that is a overtime loss from being undefeated, right? Against North Stafford. Yeah. North Stafford, who everyone thinks might be maybe the best team in Region B,
right?
Between them and Riverbend. Here we are here with I believe it's a PAT right here. I gotta give some love to the kickers, right?
Yeah.
Kicks up good. Woodbridge in control of this game.
Right. The only points were safety.
Yeah.
At this point.
And Woodbridge is another team right here, here with a 45-yard touchdown that they say explosive play after explosive play, don't they? I mean,
look at that.
The quarterback
so fast.
Yeah. I
mean, that speed and that grind game is going to be a problem come November.
And I know, I think they might be doing points. I'm not sure what they're doing down here, but I think Colgan was barely hanging on to a playoff spot. This may have knocked them down.
Yeah.
So Colgan still may be looking. I mean, Colgan's got some playmakers. I mean, like we talked before, Woodbridge is not a slow team. They're
right.
Not a team that lacks for athleticism in there. But again, just too much Woodbridge. I feel like every time we see a highlight Woodbridge, they're always like at the 50 scoring touchdowns.
I mean, just such a dominant powerhouse. Look at this. Make it look easy. Just boom, throw it up. You're gonna have someone open. There he is.
Look at the wrist. Run off the catch right there. A little extra 20 yards. Camera doesn't the AI camera doesn't even know where the ball is anymore.
Didn't even know who had it, what was going on.
It's confused. We're confused. We're all confused. But Woodbridge with a big win. The big win.
They're the class. They're the class of Prince William right now. I mean,
Well, we'll see when they play Garfield, right? I mean,
look, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to call it. Woodbridge is the class of Prince William. Whether it's Battlefield, whether it's Patriot.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't even be controversial. And anyone who thinks it's controversial is just living in La La Land.
That's a big Patriot guy.
I like Patriot. We talked about Aiden Pajonas and Patriot, the 18 tackles.
Yeah.
I just, I've seen Patriot, play some underwhelming games this year. I mean, the Osborne game and some other stuff. Meanwhile, Woodbridge is just a freaking machine.
Yeah.
Woodbridge is just a machine. There's nothing wrong with saying Woodbridge is the best team in Prince William. I think that's just people got to face the facts.
Yeah. I agree. And that's after losing to Denari Hill.
Right.
St. Francis.
Right. But
Wow.
they got a QB. They next man up.
Yeah.
I mean, coach has done a great job, build them up over there. And it helps, I mean, you can bring your son, got drafted. You can kind of bring him around. And, kids love, talking to an NFL player and all that kind of stuff.
100%.
So, yeah, good kudos to them. And Colgan, that might have been, we talked about some games that might have been elimination games. I don't know without looking at it, whether it was or not. But it very well, in that tough conference, in that tough region, rather.
I mean, look, we just rattled off 8 teams, all of which could win any of the regions in particular, right?
I know.
Battlefield, Patriot, Woodbridge, Garfield, North Stafford, Colonial Forge,
right?
Riverbend. That's
Forest Park.
7 teams. But 7 teams right there. Forest Park is 8. That's 8 teams who are monsters.
Really good teams.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, good run. And George Hall, has been a great quarterback. Fun to watch the last couple of years.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, one more, which was also kind of an early playoff game. At least for seeding.
Yeah.
At least for seeding.
Well,
South Lakes and Madison.
It was for Madison. Madison loses South Lakes to go 1-3. And now
Madison had to win. It'd be an elimination game for Madison.
They had to win.
Yeah. So South Lakes, and South Lakes has been this kind of thorn on everyone's side this year. I mean, they almost beat Battlefield.
Yeah. We're here early in the first with a 3-0 lead for Madison. I remember watching this, we were like, uh-oh.
We love. I mean, and I've loved South Lakes all year. I thought that that's a good team.
Yeah.
And they you
can't do things like this, right?
Not against Madison. Not against teams like that.
Yeah. You can't give them a short field.
Right.
And here comes the running back, right? I mean, God, look how big he is.
Yeah.
Matthew
Wheeler, Steelers Wheeler.
Steelers Wheeler. Stuck in the middle, trying to tackle him is what you're trying to do, right?
So good.
Yeah. You can't give Madison those kind of opportunities. But, South Lakes continued to battle in this game, though.
They did. They really did.
They've got a really good offense.
Yes.
Really good offense. I mean, they're able to score on anybody. It'll be interesting them against Centerville, right? I mean, they both have some explosive offenses. But here goes Madison and their new improved passing game right here, right? They're still kind of lined up with 2 backs in the backfield, but they definitely have a lot of fastness to their game that you really have to defend right here, right?
Yeah, they poured on the points in this game. I mean, we came in and out, and at some point we come back. Here's another punt. Oh,
punt. Just can't have that, right?
No, and this is still a close game at this point, Mason. It's a 1-score game.
Yeah. But you can't give them the ball.
And that's a South Lakes team that hasn't done that this year.
No. And against teams like Madison, right, you just can't have that happen. Nice ball right there, isn't it? Yeah. Nice ball placement right there. Gets in the end zone. It looked close, but they gave it to him. And there is no going to New York try to get a replay on this, right?
Right.
Another touchdown pass. Another, you have to load up the box now. Or sorry, touchdown run. Excuse me.
And here comes our guy Wheeler.
Wheeler just bashing his way through there. And in a couple weeks, having that kind of run game is going to be huge.
Oh
right?
Man, that's what Madison knows is coming. Madison knows that what's coming is Madison weather.
Yes.
Right? And Wheeler weather.
Yeah.
They know
especially we get that a cold, wet winter.
Right.
coming on, or late fall.
Yep. El Nino.
All this, throwing the ball of the yard, explosive offenses, that all goes away.
They know it. They know it. They've been around the block. Right now they're saying. I'm not saying that we're saying it, but they're probably.
It is the. I'll break out the good old history degree. It's the Russians, right? The Russians. Okay, you want to invade? All right, we're just gonna keep on retreating.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep on retreating. We're just gonna keep on retreating because eventually you're getting in the middle of the Soviet Union.
That's right.
And it's going to be bone chilling cold.
Right. You ever been to Stalingrad in the winter? It's a great place to visit.
But that's it, right? They're like, we're built for November.
Right.
You can throw the ball you want to when it's warm and it's humid and the ball doesn't slip out of your hands, right? Go ahead and do all that. But when it's one of those cold November nights where it's 35 degrees outside,
you can barely grip the ball. You're kind of resting it on your hand.
Yeah, and they are just throwing body blows at you. I mean, they are built for cold weather.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
Now they better hope that El Nino and El La Nina and all the whole family of Ninas doesn't show up here with nice weather.
Yeah.
So it's one of you and I said it last week. It's one of those things where everyone's hoping for. You got one style of football is hoping for rain, is doing rain dances and wants cold, and the other half is like, no. This is great.
Well,
this is nice weather.
Look at the 10-day like weather forecast. Like we're getting to the point where it's gonna be highs in the 50s.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold.
But the lows are the same. What I've noticed, because I have a swimming pool that's still open, I haven't closed it down yet. Not that I'm getting in it, unless you want to do an ice bath. But I keep an eye on that. I haven't closed it yet, and I got to close it before the pipes freeze. Before we get to.
Yeah.
And looking at the lows, you got a lot of for the most part, low 40s. That's where the lows have been.
Yeah.
So the lows haven't dropped down below the 40s yet.
Yeah.
And we will get that. And wind is the key.
Yeah.
It could be 50 degrees outside, and you're like, 50's not bad. Yeah, you get 20-mile-an-hour winds when it's 50 degrees outside. It feels like 28 degrees.
Yeah.
Right? So we haven't gotten all that stuff yet. It's coming.
Yeah.
The question is, when does it come, and whose parties are going to ruin?
And on what date, right?
Right.
If it's on a Saturday, who cares? If it's on Friday night.
Right.
Yeah.
So, man, it's a good stuff. Madison, like we said, shaping up the South Lake, still kind of, they're all fighting for that 3 and 4 seed, and South Lake's kind of, kind of looking at, okay, who do we beat, who do we lose to? Madison, one game right now to look at, and that's Oakton.
Yes.
So look at the Oakton game.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, that wraps up all of our highlights. But we got the best of the rest, and we're going to jump through these games because there were some fun ones that we haven't talked about yet. And as we go, the aforementioned, the Annandale, who's fighting for a playoff spot, and so is Lewis, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And big game, but Annandale doing what Annandale does right now with a big win.
The big win over Lewis, going into their bye, and then they have their last game of the season against Mount Vernon. Who knows? I mean, with the way teams are on the top end are kind of beating each other up. Who knows? The Adams may be in the playoffs. Right.
And moving on, sort of a similar situation with Marshall and what they're trying to do. So Marshall and Wakefield. Marshall with a big win over Wakefield. I think Wakefield's kind of done now. But Marshall is the one where them and McLean and Herndon.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little three-way matchup here.
Yeah. So I mean, Marshall taking care of business. That fourth place in both the Liberty and the Concord are kind of up for grabs.
They really are.
You got to figure out a way to get wins. But big win for Marshall.
Yeah, and then so McLean played Langley. Langley with a huge win, and we haven't talked about them, I feel like, in a long time.
No.
But Langley, kind of doing what Langley does, and they're everyone up there, them and W&L and Yorktown are all looking at the standings.
Right, as well. Trying to figure out who's going to
be the one seed.
Because whoever gets those lower seeds are going to end up getting either, at this point, are going to end up getting Westfield or Madison.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want that.
No.
And then McLean, still hanging on with the 4 seed right now. So,
yeah.
And they beat Marshall a couple weeks ago. They lost to Herndon, so it's kind of a mess right now for that 4 seed over in Liberty.
So that Marshall Herndon game is going to have a lot of playoff implications.
Huge. And then Marshall versus Marshall Herndon. Yeah. All right. So kind of moving on. Robinson, another game who was right outside the playoffs, looking up at it, and then with the win, they could have actually probably landed a playoff spot maybe. Versus AC, who's kind of tucked in the middle there. AC with a big win.
Yeah. AC now tied for that first place in the Patriot. Robinson very much, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Robinson just keeps on just losing close games. They're right there, they're right in the precipice, and they just can't seem to close the deal.
Yeah, it's there's definitely some Robinson Rams rolling on their graves right now from bygone eras. Who would have thought that a Robinson team in this era would have gotten beaten on the ground?
Yeah,
because AC, you know what they do? They come at you, they tell you what they're going to run.
Yeah,
and they still run it.
Yes,
and they did that against Robinson, and it worked. And the disappointing part is Robinson, and I love their kind of late season comeback here, coming off a huge win off Mount Vernon last week.
Yeah,
but it didn't hold, and Robo's kind of in a bad place right now, where AC is kind of cruising. Who would have thought that, huh?
Yeah.
MGM of Fairfax, he would have done that in July. You'd have a lot of monopoly. What were the $500 bills? The orange ones. You'd have a lot of you'd have a lot of monopoly $500 bills.
Yeah.
All right. Justice and Edison. Edison kind of wins that one. I think both these teams are kind of not really in the playoff race, though.
No. But Edison needs trying to finish out the year on a positive note, trying to go into to have a good thing coming into next year.
And then a big game, which they said the highlights were not posted on the network. Unfortunately, we were watching this game a lot that night because West Potomac, who's a kind of a mid playoff team right now, kind of right in the middle there, like I think like a 5 or 6. They were down early to Woodson.
They were down until the fourth quarter.
Yes,
it was they were down 2 scores in the fourth, and kind of rallied to go all the way back. But hats off to Coach McBride over at Woodson. Really has really got those guys playing competitive football after last year really struggling. Last year, they seem to have them just very similar to Robinson, right on the precipice of kind of turning the corner. But you can see huge improvements with them.
Oh man, we talked about it. McBride and that offense, and then ground and pound, and then that Steve Richmond defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be problems for people down the stretch.
Yeah.
And Denver's Robinson all of a sudden with that 8 seed kind of in flux.
Yeah.
Over in that conference in that region C.
What hurts them though is the Hayfield win.
No, it does 100%.
They need Hayfield to lose to Paul.
Yes, it's one of those things where at the very least, if you're Woodson, you look at that, and Robinson too. Both teams kind of look at it and say, okay, we beat them, and then something's happened down there. Yeah. We're still fighting for that 8 seed. So, and I tell you, I thought Woodson fought hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they had another long run for the running back for Goldtree.
But hats off to West Potomac to rally down 2 scores.
Well, West Potomac's doing what they do, right? They're kind of people kind of discount them sometimes, and they're always in the playoffs. They always make noise. They always a lot of times they upset somebody in round 1. Yeah. They don't sleep on West Potomac.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. And then out west we had a couple games. We had a game that again also the highlights weren't posted. But a huge game where Karnak comes strong. By the way, Karnak also called the Woodson over West Potomac game so close to that. But what I think is one of the big stories in Prince William right now is Mel Morgan and that Osborne team beating Gainesville.
Yeah, huge win. We've seen teams go through this kind of turmoil and their season kind of tailspins. Yeah. But Coach Morgan over there, who had some bumpy times at the very end with Oakton, but there were a couple of years where he did not, where he was right in the thick of it over at Oakton. But he's got them playing well. I think we're already a big champion on that, right? If he wants that job should be his at this point.
Right.
But a huge win for them over at Osborne. And Gainesville definitely not having the season that they wanted. But congrats to Coach Morgan over at Osborne.
Yeah, I mean, remember Osborne had like you said, they had the big win or almost big win against Patriot. No one That's what kind of brought them to our attention was that game.
Yeah.
And then now this, if you would have, someone would have told you, hey, Osborne's going to lose their coach before the season starts. They're going to have an interim coach, and then late in the year they're going to come a hair away from a game they were winning most of the night against Patriot, and then they're going to beat Gainesville. If I would have told you that in July, you would have told me I'm crazy.
I called you a liar.
So I mean, look at that. So congrats to Coach Morgan and Osborne. You know, we did have some Battlefield, the big win, right?
Yeah, Battlefield was a big win this week. Over Osborne Park. Over Osborne Park.
Sorry.
Although Battlefield has a huge game. Speaking of Osborne, it's Battlefield Osborne next week. And Osborne is currently 2-1 in their district.
We know Osborne does not lay down for anybody.
No.
So yeah, kudos to them. Other games, you know, out there we had TJ. You got a update on that TJ, and then I know you're going to bring them up now. TJ and Meridian. Those are the two we kind of talked about on the in the pregame.
And I believe Garfield was a big win over Hilton.
Yeah, Garfield over Hilton, obviously, with a huge win. They keep rolling. We kind of sort of mentioned that earlier. Garfield just keeps doing what Garfield does. Like you said, Garfield and Woodbridge is the one to keep an eye on.
Oh, that's another game that's going to be.
That's a big one.
I'll tell you, TJ is 4-3 on the year.
TJ, I'm telling you.
They did lose to Catholic.
Okay.
40-0. They have one more game left with Sidwell Friends.
Sidwell Friends, fame, a great school. Great.
DC?
Yeah, the Obama girls went there. I mean,
okay.
Tons of dignitaries and politicians.
Lots of high SAT scores going to be in the field.
Yeah, a lot of high SAT. How about Meridian?
Meridian.
Falls Church City. They always kind of represent. Now they're 3A, so they got to travel sometimes, or schools that play them have to travel. You know, up here. But Meridian, you know, they've had another strong season. You know.
Meridian, also 4-4 in season.
Yeah.
Last week, they are a big winner, 56-14 over Warren County.
Over Warren County, yeah. See, so
I don't know where Warren County is.
It's Warren County, Virginia, I think. Believe it is. Heard of him. Donnie Warren. Remember Donnie Warren, the old tight end for the
well, it is in Front Royale. Or
Front Royale,
Front Royale or Front Royal?
Front Royal, the Battle Royale, or Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
All right. So that kind of as far as the, you know, all the public schools now, we always have this little segment here at the end where we talk about St. James and the academy, St. James and Loudoun County, Loco Academy. And big win for Loudoun County against where all the players left and went to St. James. What's that school?
Riverdale Baptist.
Riverdale Baptist. So big win. So Loudoun County's rolling, buddy. Loudoun Sports Academy's rolling.
Yeah.
So good on them. With our guy Walrath, the quarterback, and Coach Obie Woods, you know, coaching them up. I mean, they've had a huge inaugural season too, and I was at the game when they played St. James, and they hung in that game early.
Yeah.
Now moving on to St. James, that's the story. So they got by. Everybody talked about playing this Sir Walter Raleigh, Thomas More team out in Connecticut.
St. Thomas More.
St. Thomas More. They had to win that game. So, you know, you wanted to keep this undefeated, you know, versus St. Francis next week. And here we are. They squeezed by Thomas More.
14-12.
14-12.
And a defensive battle.
It was a trap game.
Yeah.
And now here we are at the Under Armour Arena next Saturday. We get the matchup that the world has been craving. This is now. I think this is a little bit of an up. I mean, this is it's one sided. If there was point spreads here, St. Francis would have a lot of points.
Yeah,
would be favored by a lot of points. But don't discount this St. James team, man. They've got athletes everywhere. They've got the question's going to be like, and you said this months ago. The trenches. How do they hold up in the trenches?
Yeah, that's gonna be the big part. And I think actually we get it to the when we get next show when we have a little preview on it. Yeah, we don't know a lot about St. Thomas More. I looked them up, and they don't have nearly the amount of big time players, the guys they had coming through. But
right.
They obviously must have had a game plan for them.
I told you. I said they would be. Didn't I say that they'd be tough?
Yeah, they were pretty tough, and maybe I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe got some home cooking in Connecticut.
It's like they're obviously a team that they're an opponent,
Yeah,
right, for national teams. They kind of travel. Some might call them Palooka,
yeah,
whatever you want to call them, Tomato Can, Palooka. They travel, jobber, but they do travel and they play a lot of tough teams. So kind of like Spider Rico. Remember Spider Rico? Spider Rico had a chin. He'd fight you. That's the kind of guy you bring in if
yeah,
you want. You gotta go 10 rounds. You're gonna win, but he's gonna make you work a little bit.
yeah. Yeah, but big defensive win, for Coach Overton over there.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, I held, was able to carry defense was able to carry the day over there. Uh, but
It was a trap game.
it was a trap game, and I wonder if you argue that I don't want to get into preview. I'll talk about it.
Yeah, no. It'll be fun talking about the preview
Yeah.
next week. So, but yeah, so good on St. James. The match is here, the one everyone's been talking about for a couple of months. All right, buddy, and here we go. Here we go. Everybody's favorite segment. People like throwing tomatoes at us. People like throwing rocks at us when they see our famous or infamous top 10 power rankings. Let's go right now. As always, brought to you by law offices of David Marks, their team ready to stand by your side and fight for the justice you deserve. When you hire David Marks Law, you're hiring a team that believes in winning. Contact them today at davidmarkslaw.com. I can vouch for David Marks Law. I've known him for a long time. Great guy. Tell him Dash and Dan sent you. All right, buddy. Well, the top 10 Nova power rankings. And by the way, people have been asking us, like, there's comments sometimes on some of these Instagrams or some of these, and they say, "What do you mean you didn't name St. James?" This is obviously it's 6A, Virginia 6A public schools
Yeah,
in Northern Virginia.
yeah.
I mean, so if anyone who's wondering why St. James wasn't on that list, so I just had to clarify because I saw a couple of people write that. They're like, "What do you mean you didn't name?" I'm like, no, that's a silly question. But tell me you don't listen to the show without telling me you don't listen to the show,
Right.
right?
And let's be honest, St. James would run through all these teams.
Well, yeah, that's so would any of those schools
Yeah,
that recruit and,
yeah,
and bring in players. I
yeah.
mean, it's silly. That's why we don't even two different things. That's why we kind of break off the segments when we talk about some of the private schools. All right, so top 10 power rankings. You and I have not spoken about this,
We have not.
and things have been flipped up on their heads,
Yeah.
as we know. So first things first, we're throwing a top 10 power rankings party. And there are some people who are not invited. Coach Mesa, who's on the outside looking in?
So I have a theme on the outside looking in, which I'm sure people will be upset. Not people will upset me. So I got 5. On the outside looking in, I have in no particular order: Yorktown, WNL, Mount Vernon, Osborne, and Langley.
Hey, I like some of those. I dislike some, but I like some of those.
Okay.
I like the Osborne one. I did not pick Osborne on my outside looking in, but you know what? I'll throw him in there because that's a great pick. I like that.
Yeah.
And they can really move up there if they win this week.
Yeah.
So outside looking in my place, they're knocking on the door, and I keep telling them to shoo. And if they don't leave, I'm going to call the police. It is Yorktown, Westfield.
Westfield. You kicked him out of the party?
You're out for now, buddy. I'm tough. If you lose a big game, you got to go. Yorktown, Westfield, Oakton, Garfield, and I like that Osborne pick. Osborne outside looking in. Now, all those teams are on the cusp of getting in or getting back in for some.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Top 10 list starts now. Who do you got at 10?
At 10, I got Madison.
Okay, 10, I have Lake Braddock.
Wow.
They were the one
From
seed.
1 to 10?
It's a tough world out there.
Oh.
Tough world out there. But they're still on the list. They should be happy with that.
All right.
9.
I got Garfield.
9, I have Madison.
Okay.
8.
8, I got Battlefield.
8, I have WNL.
Okay.
7.
7, I've got Braddock.
Okay. 7, I have Cole, Sandberg, and Langley. 6.
6, I got Patriot.
Okay, now we're talking. Here it comes. Here it comes. At 6, I have Patriot. 5.
At 5, because I saw him outside your door, and I'm like, "What are you doing out there? You gotta come in." I got Westfield at 5.
Wow. Okay. All right. At 5, and everyone says I hate PW. I don't know why they say that. At 5, I have Battlefield.
All right. Wow, I got that I might be a first. All right. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. 4.
All right. We're at the 4. South County.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go. At 4, I have South County. 3.
West Springfield.
Here we go. At 3, I have the Parkers and Scotty Lewis and Booby Wickham, West Springfield. 2.
2, I have Centerville.
So we're going to flip.
Yeah.
At 2, another Prince William team. People can't say that. I have that really solid Woodbridge, and they kind of stay at 2.
Yeah. And at 1,
At
obviously, at 1, I have Woodbridge.
You love Woodbridge.
I mean, they're so good. They're
Yeah,
so good.
They bided their time, right? Your 1 lost, and they jumped right into the ones. It makes sense.
I mean, they just hammer. I mean, they're. I think so. The reason I'll justify this, and you can justify your 1. I think they might be the most complete team, offensively, defensively. I mean, they win close games. They win low scoring games. I mean, when their offense isn't clicking, their defense holds them right. The game against Forest Park, right? Their offense was not scoring.
Right.
And that defense is watching them play a couple times. They are so physical on defense, and they have. I don't know. That's why I have them at 1.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. It's a good pick. They were my 2 last week. So,
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, with Braddock losing, they should have bumped up. However,
That's not how you do things.
that's not how I do things. I kind of more vibe and feel it out. And, I shoot from the hips. And number 1, Centerville Wildcats, man. Will Shields, I said it last week, the best quarterback in the state of Virginia. In the state of Virginia, the best quarterback. Showing it with his arm, his legs, everything else. Carden Stover at running back. We've talked about the stud receivers over there. We gave one of the receivers player of the highlight of the week, and Nick Solomon. Last week it was Simpson. They have everything. They got defense. They have great coaching, experienced coaching, and Coach Shields. Centerville has everything you would want. They have a rabid fan base. That is a 1 seed if I ever seen a 1 seed, buddy.
I can't argue that. I mean, I would like to see a Centerville Woodbridge game.
Yeah, so would I. And to further my kind of hammer it home with Centerville being the 1 seed, who they've played and who they've beaten.
Yeah.
They played Forest Park. Now, I know they lost that game early, week 1. It was a lifetime ago. But
that's their only common opponent.
Yes,
And Woodbridge held that kid down.
that's true. But you know what else in that game? If you're going to argue that,
They scored 5.
Forest Park defense
Yeah.
held Woodbridge to like 2 or 3 scores.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Centerville's still scoring from that game. So that is something to look at.
Yeah.
But also they played, who else? You compare Woodbridge's opponents. They didn't have to play Madison. They didn't have to play Westfield.
Who has Woodbridge played so far? I know they lost.
They had the tough Stafford game,
Yeah.
and they had a Forest Park game. Is that it?
Let me look right now.
That's it. That we're going to look at right now. We're going to just kind of do this 1 versus 2, and see.
They trashed Gainesville, Dunbar. We don't know anything, and then Forest Park. Yeah, that was it.
So there it is. The Gainesville team that the Osborne just beat.
Yeah, the Gainesville. Yeah, but they beat them 55-14.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not your big brother's Gainesville team.
If you're like, hey, you coach either Centerville or Woodbridge, you have to pick one. I'd be like, you give me the one. Yeah.
Right.
Point flip, right?
Now they fall in the same bracket, right, for playoffs.
No. Centerville has the Oscar Smith.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Their team is down there.
Woodbridge will play the
Oscar Smith with their University of Virginia quarterback.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it'll be fun. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Now the question becomes weather-wise, the way Centerville's throwing that ball around. Yeah. Like you and I already talked about it, so keep an eye on that. Buddy, great show.
Long show.
Long show. A lot of stuff to talk about.
And I'm fair to say no hitter.
Yeah, definitely a no hitter.
Yeah.
No hitter. We are the Nolan Ryans of these games. Now, sneak peek, really like a 12-second sneak peek. What's the game
Oh,
that
come
you're
on.
looking at next year?
We keep on saying it. It's WNL Yorktown.
That's probably that might be
I mean, outside the national game of St. Francis and
right.
but as far as 6A the northern region area, WNL Yorktown.
That could be the one. So that'll be kind of fun.
How far are they separated? How
Pretty
far?
close, man. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Few miles, a couple miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then, like I said earlier, no love lost. Those are the kind of games you can cut the electricity with the knife,
Yes.
as they say.
Give me a slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker.
Yeah.
100%. All right, but well, everyone enjoy their football Sunday. And we'll be right back at it in a couple days and breaking down the week 10 games.
Yeah. Possibly our last Friday night show.
Could be, depending on what happens. And a week from now, I'll be in putting my feet up on the beach.
You will be, you son of a gun.
I need it. And we all need
You
it.
need it. We've been at school like 9 weeks, man.
It's tough. It's tough out there, man. It's tough. All right. Well, from Dash and Dan, we'll see you next time on All Hitches.
See ya.